So I went home having been made redundant twice in 18 months, one for coming seconds, and that taught me that the higher you get in an organisation, the more likely there are to be restructures. And at some point, it will happen to you. It's just inevitable. You're flying too near the sun, if you like. And the other one is, if you're part of a group, it's the groups that will decide whether you survive rather than your individual little bit. And I went home and I was very depressed. I went from being relatively well known to, and suddenly dot-com bubble burst, and my CV said chief exec, 250 million turnover. The banks were closing them all down. There were no businesses of that size. And it took me several months to realise that unless I created my own business, I wasn't going to get employed again, probably. Because when you're the boss, you can't apply for lower down the chain because they think you want their job straight away. And I'll be frank, when I went home, I probably drank too much. I'm amazed that my wife ever stuck with me through that period because I was difficult to live with. But she did, thank God. And eventually, I raised $3.25 million. And so I started a business age 42, carried on that incredible run of profitability growth. And when I stood down, it had 70 million in sales and an EBITDA of 12 million a year. So I hope that shows people, one, it's never too late to start up a business. Just treat everything you've learned up to that point as just a training exercise for it. And don't expect life not to have the down bits, because that's just what happens. So I'm a good example of how you can claw your way back again. And I don't want people to think that sort of, I've had this great life, I've had a great life, but there's been bits that it hurts. And if you are one of those who made redundant, look at it like I did. Wrong place, wrong time. But it's hard at the time.
Thank you. Thank you. I think that's so lovely. I'm so much in gratitude for you to share that so openly, because exactly as you said, right? Sometimes it's so easy to take it too personally rather than seeing this just as an outcome of multiple factors at play. But then what you also shared about like being in a depressed place, or it can really mess things around in your personal life as well. But then like building that up again. So that itself is a wonderful lesson, but going through that period can still like really suck. So what lesson or what helped you during that period to really not fold and to come back up and to say that let's do that?
Okay, when I was really struggling because I felt like I was getting nowhere, and then my former boss said, tell me the business plan. And he said, I like that, and I'll put some of my own money in it. And that single sentence probably changed my life, because suddenly there were two of us walking the streets trying to raise money. And never underestimate, it's not as though 2 versus 1 is twice as good. It's a different world. It's completely, you've people to talk to and share your problems with, and you always need somebody else. But they'll only join you if you're honest.